Hey guys, Steve here. Today we got to look at the Kamikaze Tier 4 Japanese Destroyer. That's the build there. I always recommend Tanaka if you don't have this one, but I'm thinking the twist and track is so valuable. You know, Kurita might have been the better recommendation, but now with the Japanese alternate branch coming out, I think Kurita is probably going to be better on that one. So, you know, Tanaka's still a pretty good option here. Twist and track's really valuable, especially for blind torpedoing, which is why I like it. But here we got a game, domination mode, estuary, of course. We're going to be talking about recognizing when it's time to move. And that's a question I get a lot and phrased different ways. What do I do if my team gets wrecked? What do I do if my team's not doing what I think they should be doing? You know, things of this nature. We're going to see a couple examples here where we kind of begin making plays, and then when we realize they're not feasible just based on what's going on around us, then we transition. So to start off with, we got the A cap here. Now, 2 destroyers per side. We can expect 1 per flank. We're moving in aggressively. Pop the speed boost as we normally do in the Japanese destroyers. With this build, you get an extra speed boost. Like to use that to get into position very quickly. You can catch the enemy players off guard that usually don't expect you to be where you are as quickly as they are. You can pressure the cap early. There's numerous advantages. You can get good angles on blind fire torpedoes. So kind of as an opening move using that engine boost can be a good option. I usually save them for the builds that have 2 engine boosts just because you want to be able to keep them for when you need to get out of there. Immediately we got a Iwaki pop-up. Now anyone who's seen me play the Iwaki, or if you have the Iwaki, you already know it's a pretty dangerous ship. If you don't know, now you know. So we got to stay away from this thing. He already made evasive maneuvers. We kind of launched torpedoes, hoping he was going to continue to the west there, but he changed course there. Going to dodge the torps. Now I'm hoping we got 2 battleships down here. A battleship sneezes at that thing, it blows up. That's the one downside of the Iwaki. It cannot defend itself. Its citadel is as big as the Dene's, but the ship's smaller. So, I mean, the whole ship is basically a citadel. I'm shocked at this point in time he's still alive, to be honest with you. He's not using his smoke, and he's not taking any fire. So, red flags are being waved. Warning bells are going off. Maybe we got to reevaluate what's going on here. G101 pops up. I'm trying to hit him with some torpedoes, and then we pop the smoke to break line of sight. We're going to get out of there. You know, we're getting pushed by the G101 aggressively. No support from the battleships, and we have the Iwaki looming in the wings. So, very dangerous position right off the bat. We've sustained 1 hit of damage, so not too catastrophic yet, but I'm hoping these guys are going to start shooting. This is a low-tier game, so the point of this isn't to criticize these players. That really never is my point in these videos. We got to be learning from all the examples that we can learn from whenever possible. But these guys basically are not going to support me. It's going to take me a little bit to recognize this. Like, we're going to get wrecked pretty hard here. And then I'm going to say to myself, all right, we've already lost the cap. You can see they're capturing A. They've driven me off of it, so it's no longer contested. They got the Iwaki in there. We're going to try and blind fire him. He's the easier target. The G101, according to that radio locator, he's kind of moved off to the southwest of his previously last spotted position. Going to fire at the Iwaki here, hoping to inspire my team to actually shoot at him, but you can see the ineffective fire coming in from the rear. So at this point in time, we've lost over half our health, and I am not inclined to believe that whether these battleships stay alive or not is going to have any effect on the outcome of the game. I feel like we've probably, you know, this side's already lost. As far as how the game's going, we'll have to evaluate it as it goes on, but it's not looking good. So rather than just die over here trying to keep these guys alive, I don't really care at this point in time. But this is the mentality you gotta, maybe not as cynical or as crabby about it as I'm maybe coming across, but recognizing that's an untenable situation. I can't win against an Iwaki and a G101 with no support. Okay, that's basically the moral of the story. Not going to happen. So we're going to go over towards the home cap. We can see we have a battleship pushing in there. I got the Iwaki spotted. Once again, he's not sustaining any damage. So we take a shot there when it's safe to do. But that's kind of transition number 1. Recognizing when... I'm trying to recharacterize how I think of this game, or reclassify it a little bit. I'm trying to view it more as like recognizing what is possible at any given moment. Okay, that's what you think should be happening. Like I think we should capture A and control it and then kill those ships, right? That's what I think should happen. Whether that's possible or not, it's already been proven that it's not possible. I was the only one playing the cap. We were driven off of it very successfully, and then the ships that were over there on the red team were not sustaining any fire whatsoever. So in my mind, it is no longer possible to capture A. It's not possible for me to kill that G101 safely. It's not possible for me to kill that Iwaki safely. So because there's nothing possible for me to do over there, now I go over here. I'm going to try and support this cap. Get some shots off in this Wyoming. If you're not familiar with the Kamikaze, you don't own it. This thing reloads like a madman very quickly. That's kind of why it's feared. It's got great concealment and quick torpedo reload. Only 6 torpedoes per salvo, but you have 3 launchers of 2. It's versatile in terms of what it can do. So we miss him with the opening salvo there. We'll get him with the follow-up, at least wreck him pretty hard and kind of take control of the situation here. But as that's going on, I want to get back to the point about thinking about what's possible in the game. It's just a good way to think about it. Like, let's say you're in a battleship, you open on the, it doesn't matter, the eastern flank of whatever map. Your destroyer leaves, it goes across the map, it's not supporting you. Your cruiser that's by you gets 1 shot. So now you're a battleship, you're against 3, 4, 5 ships. Is it possible for you to win that side? Or maybe I should rephrase that. Is it realistically possible? Yeah, maybe you'll do it 1 out of 100 times, maybe 1 out of 500 times. But usually no. The answer is no. The correct answer, is it reasonably possible to win this side? No. So whenever you encounter the answer to the question, is this reasonably possible to do? If the answer is no, then don't do it. And that's the hard part, because you're going to always say to yourself, this is what needs to be done to win this match at this given point in time. We need to control the caps, right? So we don't want to give up A for nothing in this match, for instance. But it's not possible for us to capture A, at least not at that point in time. So don't force it. If I tried to force that, I'm getting teamed up by the G101, getting teamed up by the Iwaki. I'm dead. This game, you're not watching this game because it's on, I rage quit it after dying 3 minutes into it. So by altering that thinking, recognizing, okay, what I'm trying to do, what I think the correct play is not actually possible to do. Now I came over here, we defended this cap, we're at least keeping the income reasonable. Now I'm coming over here because this is where the game's kind of being decided at this point in time. We're down ships. You can see they've lost 3, we've lost 5. They're about to take a cap advantage. We don't want that to happen necessarily. We don't want it to happen for free. So we're going to be sailing over here to support the side. Keeping an eye on it because we're assuming the guys that captured A are probably going to come down and try and attack the cap that we just left C. So we're going to come over here, try and affect the side as quickly as possible. Maybe get some spotting, maybe get some torpedoes, maybe get some kills. But I'm keeping an eye on the game. We do want to keep an awareness of what's going on, and potentially we're going to have to go back and support that side or try and affect that side at some point. See there, we launched the torps at the Furataka a moment ago. Nose-in cruiser that's moving. Very low percentage chance shot, but it's a higher percentage chance shot than the battleships that are out of range. So we go ahead and put them down there. Then we go ahead and take the shot. You can see he's almost about to capture the base. We don't want to give this base up for free. This is going to be a tight game. Anytime the games are tight and they get deep into the match, the score becomes more and more important. So he dodges the torps there. Good job dodging that. Wasn't really necessarily expecting to hit him with them. But we're taking these shots, getting the resets, hoping someone's going to get him in the side here because he is broadside currently. But we don't want to... The only reason I'm really shooting there is because he's in the process of capping. Trying to pull forward, trying to disengage behind this island that's right by that battleship there. I believe the Furataka is the only one spotting me currently. So I believe once we put the island between us and him, we'll drop spot. We take a little bit more damage there. And like I just predicted, we drop spot there. Now we got a little bit more leeway here. What I don't want to have happen in this situation is to get bogged down. You can see we just flipped the northern cap. Very good job by our other destroyer there. But what I don't want to have happen is to get bogged down in this torp mentality. I got lots of juicy battleships. There's lots of damage. You might even be saying to yourself, wow, you're probably not going to win this game. Just go for the damage. That's not a bad mentality. Once you've determined you can't win the game, then just try and pad the stats, go for some damage, whatever. That's fine. But this game isn't yet over. So we're going to take a shot or two at these battleships. But note, we've just flipped the North Cap. Now they're on C, pressuring that, just as we predicted a moment ago. So we're going to take one more salvo here once these line up, and then I think we're going to sprint over towards B. We're not going to get back there in time to stop them from capping it at this point in time, but if we can kill these ships that are over there, that'd be nice. At least spotting them or potentially torping them or whatever we need to do. At least getting over there gives us some options, but getting in this mentality on this flank where we're just going to torp. Meanwhile, the more mobile ships in their team can get, they just tied it back up in caps. They can go back north, which I'm predicting they're going to do now. Looks like they're going to do in the map. They're going to go back, try and flip B. So if we get bogged down torping these battleships, we're probably going to lose the game on score. So trying not to let that happen. Our friendly destroyer, it's the V-170, looks like, actually got the Furutaka. So he's having a pretty good run of performance on the northern half of the map there. As we're kind of moving into that central position again, we're looking for a shot on the way out here. We got a 7-kilometer range on my build, and the Kaiser is coming in close here. So he's getting rushed by the German destroyer on our team. I think the guy ends up actually hitting him and sinking him. But might as well, if it adds 10-15 seconds to the travel time over to this cap here, just to get another salvo off, potentially another big strike, maybe even a kill. Worth taking the added time. There's the kill on the Kaiser, so we don't get the damage. That's irrelevant. What we need to be doing here is focusing on how do we win this game. We're up on ships, we're down on score, and that's because they've been doing a better job playing the objectives than we are. But by moving into C here, we're going to hopefully stop that. As we see on the map, the grayed out ship, the Iwaki, was moving into B. Now, just as we're coming into this position, they actually get on there. We don't know where the destroyer is that last been spotted in A. That was the one that was causing problems for us early in the game. So we actually have no idea where that is. We're not spotted, but that's really all we know. He could be anywhere. He could be buffing his Dewey off on the moon, or he could be right in the thick of things. But I'm kind of getting the feeling, looking at how fast that thing's being capped, that there's 2 ships on there. I think the Iwaki and the G101. That's the cap bar on that, the red square going around B. It's going up very quickly. So I'm under the impression they're both here. Initially, I was planning on sneaking, following their path up here, up the western side of this island. But then I'm like, nah, they're going to come back down here, probably try and prevent me from capping, trying to kill the destroyer on their team. It would be a big play for them. Once I determine that's what they're probably going to do, I'm moving in to counter it. The problem is we're very low health, and this is a high-risk play. These guys, number one, I got to capture this base. They could be coming around here. They could spot me, reset me. That would be an issue alone. But if these guys come around as a pair, they could also team up. So we're keeping an eye on the radio locator here. Looks like at this point in time, I'm thinking they're on the far side of that island until we get spotted, just based on where it was pointed. But we launched one right at where he appeared, one where he was turning, and then one to where he was cutting back. So we hit the G101 with one Higan there, and the Iwaki gets the follow-up shot there for a double Higan. What? What? Okay! That's going to do it for this one, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave below. I'll hear from you guys, and we'll see you later. Peace.